I lost my page. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene. What is she to you? Genius, insider, insightful, MAGA, ex-MAGA, fitness guru, beauty star, traitor. What words would you use to describe her?
Me personally,
Maybe.
I don't know. I was very anti-MGT for a long, long time. In the last, I don't know, month or so, I've been kind of cheering for her, which is surprising because I really think she's nuts. She's the Jewish space lasers lady, everyone. The QAnon following nutcase Republican from Georgia. But God bless her heart.
Look, I think she played to the base perfectly. Honestly, once I figured out her game was to say the stupid shit that the base wants to hear, and come up with the crazy ass conspiracy theories that were on QAnon level that would play into the people reading QAnon level, and she was playing everybody like fiddles.
Yeah,
man, I gained so much respect for her. Granted, what she's doing is horrendous in my mind.
Diabolical.
Because she's not for the people by the people. She is playing the people for the money.
She's for herself.
I was reading something yesterday. Her net worth went from, I think it was like $300,000 to $400,000, somewhere in that range, $300,000-$400,000 when she first entered office. As of yesterday, she's $22 million in. And almost all that within the last 10 months, based on insider information that she got from being in the MAGA crew and making moves. And if you have any curiosity, there's a whole app that tracks her, Nancy Pelosi, and a few other of the representatives and their stock trades based on their insider information, which for those who don't know, they get security debriefs and trends and information from businesses to know how they're going to land, how they're pushing for different sales based on tariffs, and like NVIDIA sales of chips. Like she pledged against NVIDIA and for NVIDIA, depending on which way the wind was sailing and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So from less than $500,000 to 22 million in just a handful of years based on her knowledge of insider information and playing the market before the stuff come out. Like when Trump started entering tariffs, she had already made like major moves to buy, sell, and short different things based on that information. And she made millions out of it, 22 million. The other factor we need to play into is that she decided to announce her withdrawal from the House after Trump called her a traitor and had shut down her announced desire to run for the Senate. Yep. And 2 days after she got lifetime benefits from being a House representative.
When was this?
When she announced
her Senate run, yeah.
If you go back and Google MTG Senate run, there's a thing where she approached Trump. Trump basically told her, fuck off. And she was already lobbying for Epstein stuff at that time anyway. And we all know how Trump is anti-releasing Epstein. So she got blacklisted. And then she decided to just say, okay, I'm burnt. I'm rich. I got everything I need to retire. Fuck this Carnival show, I'm out. And she was receiving like death threats and stuff from different groups.
I'm seriously worried about her life. Anybody that goes against Donald Trump legitimately has death, legit.
Hey, can you look up when she made the announcement on Twitter? She said, I am happy, I am not suicidal, be aware, or something. She said, I'm not suicidal, I am fine. And she made a public announcement about that when she started going against Trump with the Epstein information.
Yeah. She announced her Senate run on November 21st, 2024.
Yeah, she was afraid that they were going to take her out, right?
Yeah.
You know, she was going to get hit by a car crossing the street or some shit. So she knew that she had two options. She could continue to fall in line and be Trump's little puppet and never go anywhere. And this was going to be the extent of her life, which is dealing in misery, getting burnt out. And a lot of people think she's an idiot and all that kind of stuff. No, she read the writing on the wall. MAGA is imploding. The infighting is getting serious. The populace is waking up to the fact that the corruption is now destroying homes. Was it 80% of the country blames Trump for the unemployment rates and for the government being shut down for as long as it was?
Yeah, he's cooked.
MAGA's mad about the Epstein stuff not getting released. And now they've got this, it's under investigation that Trump ordered Bondi to do against Democrats, and because it's under investigation on Democrats, they can't release it publicly. It's the new statement, and then what they did release is like 99% redacted with the black. Like, she read the writing of the wall, and
Yeah.
she knows that this ride is over.
Do you
So
think
she's
Do you
rich.
think her getting blackballed from her Senate run by Donald Trump is the reason that she's resigning now and just picking up her towel and leaving?
No, I think she has realized the train has run out. So I've read a few different points of view on this, and I do agree with the point of view that, and I didn't come up with this, it's just something I read, but I agree with the point of view that she recognizes that MAGA has hit the end of its road in a lot of ways. Anti MAGA sentiment, the alignments with the Nazis, the government shutdown, the job loss records, the Epstein stuff, like it's just one thing after the no Ukraine deal, the no ending of that war, the destruction of the White House. He now people are going to disagree, but to me, this is my opinion. Everything he has touched, everything he's rallied on, has been an absolute failure on every perspective.
Absolutely. I have
He's
another theory from
attacking,
Marjorie Taylor Greene. She
and
owns a
he and
construction
she
company
sees
back
it,
in Georgia, and since this
and
kind of
they got
happened
raided.
right at the influx of the ICE operations on the East Coast. So my
Oh yeah,
theory is she owns a construction company. She lost a lot of her laborers, so she's taken a big financial hit to her profit margins, and now it's affecting her financially, and it's also affecting her kids. She was speaking a lot about that recently in public, how her
yeah,
daughters or kids' energy bills are too high and blah blah blah. I bet
yeah.
all those things play a factor into this.
Yeah, she's watching the house of cards that they have carefully constructed over the last 50 years of how awesome Republicans are and how they know how to do everything better than the Democrats, and the Democrats are evil. She's watching it implode in real time.
So she was
And
just
now
straight up
she's
lying for the
watching,
last however long she's been in
she
Congress.
rode the train.
Yeah.
And the train was, and I'm going to quote Trump, and this is an abstraction. This isn't a direct quote, but basically Trump said, if I was going to run for office, I would run as a Republican, because they're so fucking stupid. They'll believe anything. His quote, not mine. Not exact wording, but basic principles.
Yep.
And let's look at his list of things he's done. The wall didn't happen. Immigration's a mess. The
Healthcare.
country is no better off than it was financially. Trade wars have destroyed numerous businesses. People are going hungry. Healthcare is going away. More financial debt than this country's ever been in.
Ukraine war is getting worse.
Ukraine, and now I don't know if you saw that, but Trump basically told
Ukraine that you have to give
Zelensky,
up.
accept this deal where you give up a good chunk of your land that you've been fighting for years, or I'm going to watch you die. Is basically
that makes us look very weak on the world stage. If we're everyone on the planet, every other nation on the planet knows that Russia was the aggressor into Ukraine. Now, us, by taking a stance where we're like telling Ukraine because they're our friend, like, no, you have to capitulate to Russia, makes us look weak in front of the world stage, in front of every country that exists.
It's not even that. He told Ukraine, do what I say or you're going to die. Right. Is what he's telling them. Like, that's basically his words. But
he's telling the victim to give up.
But we're not here debating that stuff. What we're here doing is she's watching this whole thing unravel. Poll numbers are in the toilet. She's getting death threats to her and her family. She's rich now. She's got her lock in for a lifetime. She can go back and sell other stuff. And she doesn't have to be here when the thing hits the ground, when the shit goes bad. She doesn't have to be in the front stage when everything goes south. And there was another thing I read, and I think this is interesting, is there's discussion about her running in 2028 for president.
Really?
And if you look at what's happened with her,
she might have a chance now that she's exiting the MAGA party like this and gaining support from people like me.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of talk amongst Republicans that the divide, if there was another place that they felt good about rallying behind, they might do it. And Elon thought he could lock into that with that Freedom Party or whatever the hell it was he was talking about, but he's just as corrupt as everybody else in my mind. So what's the value in rallying behind that crazy guy? MTG went hard after Trump. She didn't go hard after the Democrats. She went hard aligned to the centralist view that the polling was showing. And now she's rallying as a person that she thinks is going to implode and watch the whole party crumble because of. And if she can align with that base to show that that person is evil and help push that, it's like watching a cat push the glass off the table. if she can be the cat that kind of helps finish that off, and then she's the one left standing on the end, enough Republicans could back her, and then they could vote the rest of them out in Democrat. She could pull a Democratic, like,
I could see
what if
that.
she pulled a Democrat as her VP
Yeah.
to bridge the two parties? She's a shoo-in to become the next president of the U.S.
Oh shit! Predictions coming from almost above average. J Train McGee dropping them hot. Hit subscribe.
So, no, I don't think she's an idiot at all. I think she's been playing that fiddle so hard for so long to gain the notoriety, the name, the belief. And this hard turn was after they sacrificed her at the altar of power and put her in her place, according to them, because she wasn't the right fit for their vision of the future. She recognized that, said, nah, brother, I'm not gonna fall in line as one of your soldiers. I'm gonna take you out. And she's aligning up to do that. So
That's a
Senate
very
run
interesting
may not happen,
theory.
but she may line up to take out Vance for the new Republican Party that will form under her once the Epstein stuff comes out and JD Vance and Trump and a lot of this Project 2025 people get burnt. Like, and that's the other thing too. Hundreds of Republicans are now getting their names out there. Whether it's actually true or not doesn't matter. Public perception will be, hey, that representative has been associated with Epstein. He's burnt. They're going to vote him out. And if she gets the right people in place at the right time, she'll win the selection for the Republican candidate for. And if she does that, and Democrats don't come to the table with something strong, because AOC ain't going to be it. And there's nobody. She's a Hispanic. She's a woman. It's like Kamala all over again.
I support her.
Gavin Newsom, like if she and Gavin Newsom, and I think that's the other thing too. If we watch Gavin Newsom, so if you have the two, let me do it on the camera. If you have the two edges, the left and the extreme right, and you start looking, both her and Newsom have started moving towards the middle. What happens if she decides I'm going to back Newsom? I'm going to go to be vice president under Newsom. And they figure it out.
That would be wild.
Newsom and MTG, doesn't matter which one's in which spot. Probably she's smart enough to know vice president's her best bet, and Newsom's lining up to be president. If it's Newsom as president and MTG as vice president, I think it's a lock. I think there's nobody that's going to be able to beat them.
That is a wild prediction.
That's not bad for the U.S. too, because she has aligned her views with a more central view. She's looking at the way the votes are going and the polling's going and everything, and she's reading the tea leaves. She's reading the wind. She's like that girl from the guy from Twister, and the girl from Twisters that's watching the shift in the wind. She knows which way to go. She's going to go chase that tornado, and she's got it lined up. If she's smart, she has reached out to Newsom and say, hey, I have an idea. I think this could work. And Newsom, anybody wants to get with Newsom and say, hey, we got your VP pick. This will lock it all in. Line up with MTG. Start doing the rounds with her right now and get that lined up. Because if they started walking together in public today, man, that's going to be a
J-Train, would you support an MTG Newsom run for the presidency?
I don't see another route that will work. Now, do I like MTG? No. But is MTG smart enough to align with the correct winning group and view set? Yes. And with the changes that are coming with the country in the next 3 years, what would happen if she's aligned with the right principles and sticks with it? I think she's probably intelligent enough to go, if I run on this with Newsom, this is going to be the platform they're going to charge us against, and this is what's going to lead into the next generation of voters. She needs to do that to lock it in for her to be able to be president next time. So if she's smart, this is the path forward for her. And I think she's smart enough to read this. And God, I'm putting this
Maybe
out.
She's hiring advisors and you can take that slot.
I mean,
MTG, hit me up. I'm looking for a political job. Let's go.
The devil on your side is better than the devil you don't know.
Amen.
And and that's the thing about MTG that bothers me is she was super ultra MAGA. If you look at just a couple of years ago, it was her. No, what was it? A year and a half ago, it was her calling Biden a war criminal and a traitor and all this stuff, and how Trump was the greatest thing since sliced cheese. And Trump is our God, God and Savior. Like that was her messaging just a year ago, or a year and a half ago. Like that's what she stood up and snickered and laughed in the House and made fun of the representatives and broke decorum and acted like an asshole in the House doing. Like go look at the videos. It was her and Bohart up there he about different things that were going on and liars. She's
Yeah.
the one that sat there
Very immature.
in Congress said liars, and like that was her talking negatively and going against the Democrats and heavily enforcing the Trump belief system. And now, not even a year later, we're at a 180 because she knows the MAGA road is over and she knows that she needs to get off of this train before she goes down with it. She's watching the Titanic getting ready to running into the iceberg right now with Epstein, with the economy, with a war coming up. Because did you see that about the Venezuelan airspace?
Yeah.
There was, yeah, like for those who don't know, the U.S. told Venezuela stop all air flight. This is now a U.S. military operational zone over Venezuela. Like
Very
we are
presumptuous
getting,
of us, huh?
we are. I don't see how we're not going to be attacking them within the week.
I don't see how we can just straight up tell another country, hey, we're now operating outside of your borders.
You can't. This is, in my mind,
An act
nothing
of war.
short of escalate is a declaration of war.
Hold on, before we move to that, let's hear from Marjorie.
Stealing another company's airspace.
Hold on, let's hear what Marjorie had to say on her resigning. She looks happy.
As a member of just
Liar.
I have always political
By
party
her.
cycle.
Pause for a second.
Which way?
What she's saying is what she has been doing for the last handful of years. This has been the playbook that they've used and I've talked about for a long time. Now, I was reading that book I was telling you about. Oh man, I found that an amazing book. It has spoken the truth. Stan Taylor's Big Book of Power has talked about two concepts that I want to bring up here. And remember, I told you I was going to quote it. And the basic principle of the first thing was the idea that is given to you is more likely to be defended the most out of the ideas you have. So if you come up with the idea, you don't feel as confident of it. But if somebody gives you an idea that fits your narrative, you'll defend it more, even if you don't understand it, or you don't see how it plays out, or even if you know it's wrong, or even if it's somebody's trying to prove to you it's wrong with real facts, you'll defend it to the death because it is the safer thing to believe. And once your brain has aligned to that being a truth, even if you don't understand it, even if you can't connect it, if it's just a thing, then you'll dig down harder. You'll find more reasons to deny or fight or argue or whatever. So what MAGA has done and the intelligence operations to do disinformation campaigns out of Russia, China, and North Korea have been about doing that, filling the information, the American populace. Man, I'm trying not to burp. The information holes that we have, like, oh, vaccine, like, I don't know how vaccines work, but they say this, okay, oh my God, they give you tails. And it's like, I can believe that. And then it becomes like the thing that you defend, even if you don't understand it. It's like, and then no amount of explanation of like why that fact is wrong will come through, right? The same thing with the microchips. Like both of those are ridiculous concepts. Can it hurt people? Sure. But a tail? Come on. No, there's been zero cases of millions and millions and millions that grew a tail because of this. Zero. None. Nothing documented in the history of mankind where a tail was grown from a vaccine. Zero cases across the entire planet, ever.
But they'd spout it off in the congressional hearings.
But, that then there's no penalty for the lying. There's no way to convince these people that they're wrong. And even if they tell you they're sorry, it's quite on page 9 out of your view, and then you don't know it. And the willingness to lie about it is better than the admitting you're wrong in public. But anyway, so here they are talking about, oh, we're going to make you hate each other. How do they do that? What she just said, how do they do that? They lied to you. They fed you disinformation. They let you get disinformation from the stuff coming out of Russia, China, and North Korea, and they doubled down on it. They doubled down on it. They went with it. Oh my God, this bad thing is going to happen, that disinformation, the lies that these other countries are seeding into ours in order to uh, divide us, and then they use that to further divide it, but align with you and your beliefs on this nutsy crap in order for them to gain favorability from you so that you would rally behind them and give them the power. That's exactly what happened. So what she's saying is true, but she helped do it. Keep going.
Nothing ever
Pause.
gets better for
Pendulum swings. I want to talk about that. Go look at anybody who's been a financial historian. They'll tell you what's going to happen. You have the Democrats that help bring out better balance, better spending practices, help balancing budgets, help getting programs to help people. And then you have the
Better
Republicans
vibes.
that come back to the other. And this has been for like the last 50 years. Republicans start repealing all that stuff, making more money for the rich, taking more money for themselves. Debts go up, policies go bad. Like Trump administration removed laws that Biden did. Let's talk about a few of them. Can't have certain chemicals come out of factories and into water. Why? Because it fucking kills you. And it pollutes the water and it makes it bad. Like how much poop per gallon of water, or how much of this neurotoxin per gallon of water. They put laws in place to prevent these companies from pushing that shitty water out into our waterways.
Aaron Brockovich.
Fish. Trump and his administration rolled all that shit back. Why? Because it's cheaper for the companies. They make more money. How does it help you? It fucking doesn't. It kills your ass. And they don't give a shit.
No, it only kills the people around the factory
to make the money. She voted to get rid of those laws. So that pendulum swinging she's talking about, she made $22 million by moving it from one side to the other, and she clocked $22 million on that pendulum swing, knowing it was going to hurt her constituents. And now that she's made her money, she's going to be going back like, well, they're bad. Well, she made her money on that upswing, people. She's how she's a $22 million richer, because she rode that pendulum from the middle up and made her $22 million off of it at your expense. All right.
American jobs continue.
Debt going higher. She rallied behind the big, beautiful bill. Go look it up.
Yep.
She shouted from the rooftops that the Democrats were evil because they didn't vote for the bill that raised our national deficit. She was part of the reason that bill got passed. That national debt skyrocketing, that's on her shoulders and the others that stood up there in front of the country and said, we have to have this for the world. That was her. She did that shit. And all the Medicaid and stuff coming off, all the issues that are going to hurt the common American people, she voted for it. She rallied for it. She pushed for it. And she talked shit about anybody who went against it. That was her and the others in the high-level MAGA that did that shit. That was her. Don't let her act like she wasn't instrumental in this shit happening. She was one of the faces that made that happen.
Okay. J-Train's fired up today. If you made it this far in the video, please subscribe.
She's a fucking hypocrite, and she's trying to save her own ass by pretending she's not complicit in all the shit she's demeaning.
She's trying to wash her hands of this right now, and that's not going to work. MTG,
whitewash her image.
That's not gonna work.
Pause.
The average American.
Your dollars though, huh? MG.
How long has she been in office?
8 years.
Okay, so that's 8 years of her voting the Republican line that did everything.
Yeah.
She has voted
every time
100%.
Except for the Epstein files.
She voted to release the Epstein files.
No, I know. That's right. But that's
this time. But don't forget, she voted against releasing the Epstein files until this time.
Right.
So she has gone with the MAGA vote, the party she's demeaning right now. She's saying it's bad, that she shouldn't align to. All those things that she's talking down about, she voted with the party that did all this. She has been right there at their side, voting with them, talking these points up, and pushing everything she's talking about through. She did all that.
No. I ran for Congress. Orders I have fought hard.
Until they're born. And then fuck their
then fuck them.
Fuck the school food in school. Fuck welfare. Fuck
unless they're going to join the military
afterwards.
And then
that's
fuck
18
them after.
years later.
Yeah.
The baby born until 18, she doesn't give a fuck about.
Right.
She voted against education improvements. She helped tear down the Department of Education. She voted against she voted for removal of Medicare and Medicaid. She has done everything within her power to align with the MAGA directive to keep money from the common everyday people she's talking about. And she has voted for improving the financial budgets of the rich that gave her the money to run for Congress and stay in Congress. The reason she's made some of this money is because she was bought and paid for by corporations. Don't shake that out.
I fought against dollars.
Nice.
Which means all courage leave.
Pause. She didn't help the Democrats come to the negotiation tables to have this open. She sat with her people. She did the party line. She did exactly what she's complaining about. She was instrumental in causing what happened. Everything she's talked about, she helped happen. All horseshit. She's trying to pretend that somebody else is responsible. She was at the middle of all of it.
Affordable health insurance policy.
Did she or did she not vote for the big, beautiful bill?
Which stripped healthcare away from Medicaid.
Of course she did. So she either, and if I remember correctly, she said, I didn't read this. It's like,
yeah.
Didn't she say that?
She totally
didn't she
said
say
that.
She didn't read the whole thing?
Yeah.
She saw the Medicaid.
And then she came out on her soapbox and advocated for people to read the entire bill because she was duped or something.
Yeah. So here's the thing. She is responsible for reading all her legislation and actually deciding how to vote on it according to what she needs from her constituents. If she votes for something that hurts her constituents because she didn't read it or she read it and she's towing it apart, it doesn't fucking matter. She voted for it. She went with it. She talked shit about others who didn't. She is one of the reasons it's there.
To fix this disaster.
Democrats showed up even when the House was out of session to get shit done. Why wasn't she there every single day trying to help stuff get through? Others were. Why didn't she show up every single day trying to get it done? She's not Johnson is not her boss. She can show up and try to get it done. She could be there ready and waiting. She could have done what some of the Democrats did, which is be there every single day trying to get shit done. She wasn't. She's here doing this shit in her home in Georgia. English being the official language of the U.S., wasn't it already a thing?
I don't know, but even if it wasn't, when was that?
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, who was advocating for that? Why was that even in the top 5 of issues we need to talk about?
With everything else going on.
That is terrible.
Don't forget, executive orders are suggestions from the president to agencies. They are not law. They are not law. And that's why a variety of Democrats came forward who said, hey, you don't have to follow this bullshit. If he's telling you to do illegal stuff, you ain't got to do it.
Right.
In fact, there's a foreign and domestic aspect of the oath that they have to swear. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong on that, but I think that's true, that they could have just said, hey, this stuff's not right, but then Trump asked to hang them. But anyway, she wasn't out there saying it. She didn't back them up. She didn't protect against the stuff. And here she is talking about bills to make bullshit law that's irrelevant, like Gulf of America. Come on.
Yeah.
That's such a waste of time.
Yeah, all of those little issues.
But where is she up front on TV talking about how the big, beautiful bills, Medicaid is hurting her constituents? How about her being up there talking about how she's helping to push through legislation?
She can't because she voted for the big, beautiful bill.
To legalize immigrants and make them Americans so they can have taxes and how they can make America great by working and actually getting shit done. Where is she doing all this? No. She's hiding behind the villain, which is this anonymous thing that's out there. She's condemning both sides of the aisle, but then she's aligning with the Democrats when it's convenient for her based on the polling and all. No. This is all an act. I mean, look at her. Just look at her. There's no emotion in that face. There's no conviction. There's no fire. There's no anger. This is her reading a script that some script writer carefully did, that she paid to have them do, so that she could read the words and invoke the right emotions in order for you to believe the right things she's saying, in order for you to rally behind her as a thing. That's not a face of somebody who gives a shit. That's a face of somebody who's checked out and doesn't give a fuck.
Thank God for the cross.
Members of Congress bills.
There is this thing that is known, and they do this, where they get together a bill they know there's no chance of passing, and they put it out there, and they're like, look what I did. And these other people are bad because they didn't do it. It's like, okay, how did you bring people to the table? How did you negotiate with anybody? How did you rally behind your bill? Why isn't it gaining any traction? Where's the work that you're doing to get this bill to pass? Why? No, you put out a bill that you knew wasn't going to pass to act like you're a good person, and you just let it die on the floor because that's your feather in your hat, and you moved on.
AKA
where is the campaigning?
Virtue
Where is the discussion?
Signaling.
Why isn't she on the news right now saying, we need this, I need help? Why isn't this a thing? Why doesn't she have people working with her? No, she dropped the bill off so she could have a feather in her hat and a rock in her pot so that she can move on, so that she can say that she's a good person. But her putting up a bill, throwing it in a trash can in the Senate floor, and then walking away doesn't do anything. If she's not going to rally behind these bills and get them done, they're useless.
To force
like you, Marjorie? Cult-like conviction? You used to have that.
They know how much their bills have.
Like, I don't know how much more of this I can watch. How hard it is for her to read her own script. The fact that she didn't practice this and prepare to make this video because of what's going on is killing me. That I'm reading this, I can't have any conviction. I don't have any energy. I didn't read this ahead of time so that I could get used to the wording and figure out my cadence and prepare my speech. You know, like a good politician, when they want to like take Thomas Jefferson or Obama, there's videos of them rehearsing their speech, walking around with it, making sure they have the inflections and the energy and the pacing and the cadence and the pitch all right, so that when they give it, I have a dream. You know, Martin Luther King didn't walk up there and cold call that speech. He worked for days on that speech. And I can't believe that he didn't work for days on it, rehearsing it, practicing it, making sure it had the energy and the fire and the passion to rally the people and get them excited so that they were ready to walk with him down that street and walk out there and have that message as fire in their hearts. This is a deadpan, soulless pretend to make it seem like she's a good guy when she doesn't give a fuck because she's only playing the game.
What do you think are the turning points that led Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation from Congress? No, never mind. We already did that. Sorry.
Because Trump has already thrown her in a bus. He got what he wanted out of her. And this is the thing with Trump. There's the last touch, right? So a lot of people know about the last touch. Let's talk about Mamdani. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Mamdani.
The guy who just won the thing in New York.
Mayor.
He went there and like he was condemning Mamdani. He goes, oh my God, we may have to go in there. I might have to deport him. Like the rhetoric out of the right was egregious about, oh, we got to get rid of this communist. We need to deport him. He's a villain. New York's going to hell in a handbasket. And as soon as he met him, this guy called him a fascist, called Trump a fascist to his face. And Trump said, that's fine with me. You can call me that. It's like, oh, I like this guy. I could go live in New York now. It's like,
no, he's a
Mamdani
cuck now.
And that's the thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been ostracized because of the same thing that a lot of other people have been ostracized for. The promotion of the release of the Epstein files, which indicates or indicts or whatever word you want to use, Trump and a bunch of other Republicans. And because she's not on that list, and it is a huge talking point on the news, in the people, in every circulation, and as this information is coming out from the Oversight Committee or being leaked out by other sources, as it becomes more and more evident that Trump and other Republicans, and as Trump is becoming more complicit in that information coming out, as it's making him look worse, everybody that has protected him from this information coming out, Bondi, Patel, other Republicans shutting down Congress in the House in order to not have the vote, the not swearing in, all that stuff is gaining more and more momentum as being, oh my God, they really were protecting him.
Right.
And oh my God, that must mean that it's true. That rhetoric, and honestly, this is one of the few times I'm like, all right, Russia, China, and North Korea, you really want to get America divided? Push the narrative that that stuff happened because it's all true and push that out and burn them. You want to really hurt America right now? Burn Trump at the stake by making the common person believe via QAnon posts and other circulations that it's all true and cripple our situation by saying, well, hey, the American people believe their government's full of a bunch of bad people and we need a revolution. Like that narrative's going around right now. That's why Major Taylor Greene stepped out from front of the bus that's coming, the Epstein bus. Epstein's in there driving that bus right now at the Republican Party, and it's going to hit. And like the votes happened, we're on the downhill on that one. Like it's all going to be a roller. It's going to be a crazy show from this point on. But she stepped out away from the bus. She walked right out of the path of it. And that's what she's doing. She's walking away from it, waiting for it to hit, and then she's going to swoop back in. And that's why she doesn't have any energy and any motivations, because she doesn't care about the average people. She doesn't care about what's going on. She got burned. She's pissed off. She feels like she's having to play a game, and she's hoping to pop up on the other side. That was a poorly read, poor attempt at trying to distance herself from the right that she rallied behind and wore the red hat and wore the Trump is right hat just months ago.
Huh?
Like there are pictures of her wearing the Trump was right hat within the last few months. Like she believed that shit until a couple months ago. Do you really think that she doesn't understand what's going on? No, she played the side that was giving her money and allowing her to gain money. That's what happened.
All right. Any final thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene?
I have no interest in her being in a representative spot, Congress, Senate, president, or vice president. No interest whatsoever. She is a liar. She is in my mind, she's a liar, a sociopath, and she's just as bad as Trump. The only thing she hasn't done is been to Epstein Island, as far as I can tell. But she is not a good representative for the average American person. And everybody needs to watch this abandonment and Brutus level stab in the back of her party and realize anybody that can go from wearing the red hat, saying Trump was right, to calling him a pedophile within months is not somebody we can trust. Did she finally come out and say the truth? As far as I'm concerned, yes. The fact that she did that so quickly as soon as the Epstein stuff came to light should show everybody that she will burn anybody and sacrifice everything to protect herself. And that is not what we need for a president or vice president.
I am fascinated to see the comments on this one. I think MAGA's got to be going through some weird things. Do you still like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Are you against her now because she's against Trump? I really want to see these comments. Let us know. Let's argue on TikTok or Instagram.
How, if the Epstein document, let me put this mind bender. This is the thing that kills me. If the Epstein documents are fake and hurt the Democrats, why is Trump and the Republicans so mad about them getting released? Why is he talking so aggressively against a thing that supposedly can hurt his enemy? Why is he doing that? So if he's doing that, maybe they're real. And if they're real, and it does do what everybody out there is saying it's doing, and what the materials say they are validating, then why are you backing him? The information about him performing an SA event, and you can go look up what that means, against two 12-year-old girls, or a 13 and 12-year-old girl, with Epstein there and Ghislaine Maxwell there, is in the documents that got released, that were leaked out.
I don't remember seeing that one.
If they're fake, why isn't that information coming out?
Hey, let's pull that up.
Why are you backing this guy? And either way,
can you hear me?
Why is Trump protecting Democrats if they're fake? And why isn't he moving to get them released? And then I know people will be out there like, well, he signed a bill. That guy could have released it on day one. He could have wrote an EO and Bonnie could have released it, or he could have just told Bonnie to release it day one, like he promised. So why are we 10 months in having to have votes from Congress and then Bonnie saying still not going to happen? Just saying.
All right, hit subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.